don't know what the Sam Hill happened back there, Commander. But as you can see, we're getting set right here. I know, Canada. More cows up here than people. Well, let's get to work. The lieutenant will fill you in.
It looks like General Vladimir just hit Chicago hard. The nearest available forces are across Lake Michigan. Intel suggests an amphibious assault across the lake. Well, I guess there's a first time for everything. Good luck, Commander.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Commander, our destroyer is the workhorse of the Navy. No naval unit can long hide from it, and once detected, it makes short battle control online.
Standing by.
Welcome back, Commander. It seems that the two audio lines there kind of overlapped, but regardless, it's just basically telling us how good the destroyer can or is, or can be or is.
Aye, Commander.
We've also got some new defenses that we could talk about. As seen by the tooltip here, they're called the Grand Cannon. They're a unique sort of building defensive structure, but I'm not going to talk about it right now just because, well, we'll see it later, and it just makes more sense to talk about it at a later point. So, permit me this, I don't really know how to say it. Permit me this opportunity to shy away from it.
Standing by.
In the meantime, though, we can see that the destroyers have a
Navigation systems ready.
interesting return from the Red Alert 1 days.
Captain on the bridge. Attacking.
In fact, we can see how different the naval combat is, and how it's helped a lot by the fact that everything is just faster.
Speed to full. Captain on the bridge for new heading. Allied ship reporting. Set for new heading. Standing by.
The destroyer, in a nutshell, is your unit that's going to be able to discover submarines, or anything submerged, really. But that's namely going to be the submarine.
Allied ship reporting.
They have a main gun on their bow, or bow,
Unit promoted.
and they also carry one flying unit, which I forget the name of.
Navigation systems ready.
Ospreys. That's what it is.
Ready to roll. On our way, sir.
Regardless, they use their Ospreys to attack submarines and use their main gun for everything else.
New construction options. Incoming transmission.
Allied ship reporting.
Commander, we have just received an intelligence report on Soviet activity in the Chicago area. This is a psychic amplifier. Our theory is that if turned on, it can do to the country what the psychic beacon did to Washington. General Carville wants you to find it and destroy it.
Allied ship reporting.
Construction complete. New construction reinforcements have arrived. Cannot deploy here.
Well, that's
Training.
certainly not a
New
good
construction
option for
options.
the Allied forces.
Building.
Bound forward. Standing by.
Unit
Navigation
ready.
Systems ready.
I've got the knowledge right here.
On hold. Cancel.
There's not much of a reason to destroy these buildings.
New
It's
construction options.
generally just about either the same price or a little more expensive to build the power plants.
Unit ready.
800 for a power plant on the Allied side, so yeah, just get an engineer.
Steady as you go.
Kind of
Insufficient
better that
funds.
way.
Unit reporting.
Sadly, I couldn't get an engineer into the naval shipyard. Something about
Unit
not
lost.
having engineers be able
Building
to
captured.
traverse water.
Yes, sir. Driver up. Standing by. Allied ship reporting. Speed to full.
No matter though, we have quite enough destroyers to fulfill that duty.
Allied ship reporting.
Unit lost.
Allied ship report. Navigation systems ready. Standing by. Main engines engaged. Steady as she goes. Allied ship reporting. Navigation.
So, for whatever reason, submarines can target amphibious boats. It's a little annoying just because I was really hoping that
Unit
torpedoes
lost.
wouldn't have that sort of effect.
Base is under attack.
Let's do it! Orders?
just makes scouting with them a little bit more quote-unquote
On
free.
hold. Cancel. Unit promoted. Construction complete.
Standing by.
New construction
Allied ship report.
options.
Engines engaged.
Unit lost.
Standing by.
Double time! Safety first, sir!
Unit promoted.
Now,
Building.
destroyers can be pretty good and
Building
are
captured.
very nice against submarines.
Moving out!
And we can see that the
Unit
boat
lost.
itself
Unit
does
lost.
actually have
Unit
its
promoted.
own experience bar
Orders?
as compared to the Ospreys that they send out. And losing an Osprey isn't a permanent thing. They rebuild after a certain amount of time. I forget.
Unit lost.
Essentially, though, if you have at least a few destroyers lying about, you shouldn't really have that much of an issue defending against them. Submarines, that is.
Got it! Got it! Can do!
As this is the heart of Chicago, you should probably expect that some things will be garrison buildings. And you should definitely take advantage of that
Building.
yourself.
Construction complete. Structure garrison. Unit lost. Building. Unit lost. Structure garrisoned.
You can also see re-see one feature of garrison buildings, and another feature of the flak truck right
Unit
there.
lost.
Yes, sir!
Namely, the fact that
Insufficient
garrison
funds.
buildings will slow down
Unit
units that
promoted.
are being shot by it.
Construction
And
complete.
2, the flak truck can carry troops. That can be a pretty dangerous proposition, so keep that in mind in case you ever happen to play this yourself.
Training.
Navigation systems ready. Bound forward.
Unit ready.
Securing position. Navigation systems ready. Navigation systems ready. Commander. Standing by. Steady as she goes. Allied ship reported. Steady as she goes.
Now, considering I can't actually kill
Unit
units myself, you can't
New
commit
rally
suicide
point
with your units or whatever.
Got it! Double time!
And I have a bunch of amphibious transports that I don't really think there's much of a point to them anymore. I've already assaulted the beachhead, and the map doesn't look like it'll really allow for anything else. So you might as well use them as some free scouting.
Unit lost.
It'd probably help if they had either more armor or there were less obstacles in their way, but sadly won't be the case at the moment.
Cannot deploy here. New
Also, I
construction
believe I
options.
may have misspoke
Building.
in the
Cancel.
last video with regards to
Building.
the hospital.
Yes, sir.
Again, we've already seen tech buildings in previous games, but they never seem to have any real effect
Unit ready.
on the game world.
Commander.
Also,
Unit
this
lost.
Grizzly tank is just absolutely murdered by that building. So,
Unit ready.
tech
On
buildings
hold.
have at
Building.
least interesting property. With regards to the hospital, though, it turns out that you actually have to send units into the hospital
ready.
for them to get healed, and then they come out fresh. It doesn't remove their experience, as far as I understand it. It just takes some time.
Steady as she goes.
And I believe that time is based just on how damaged they are.
Navigation systems ready. Steady as she goes. Navigation systems ready. Allied ship reporting. Aye, Commander.
My only issue is that I feel like I remember hospitals in Red Alert 2
On
healing
hold.
automatically.
Cancelled.
But
Building.
yeah, maybe I'm just
Construction complete.
confusing it with some either a game later in the series or some modded mechanic or something else. Which is admittedly a little
Construction
unfortunate.
options.
Securing position.
But also, I can see how hospitals could probably break the game if
Training.
they work that way.
Ready to roll.
Insufficient funds.
High speed, low drag. Driver up. Destination, Commander?
I'm
Unit
not
ready.
quite sure why nobody's defending this gun, but I'll take it, whatever.
Unit ready.
Oh, and I don't think I've spoken about the economy in this game. It basically follows the same suit as before. I believe ore miners,
Main engines Allied ship.
chrono miners, and
Navigation systems ready.
war miners. They work the same way as previous entries, where they still collect between 1,200 and 1,400 minerals or money per trip. And the same basically remains true. I don't think there's a change to it. If there is, I'll double check, but basically the basic principles always apply.
Unit ready.
Unit reporting.
With Red Alert, as we've seen in the previous game,
Unit ready.
Unit reporting.
since it doesn't have to do any at all with Tiberium, it remains with the same ore slash gem difference or
Reinforcements have
production
arrived.
variety.
Igniting boosters. Got a steady flow.
Unit ready.
And as with Tiberium, gems basically act as the double or
Unit
2
lost.
times more efficient or double modifier or whatever to basically offer you twice the income, which obviously is something you want to maximize as much as possible.
Sir, all fire riding high. I can see him. Fuel tanks are filled. I can see him.
Whether this is because it's still the start or not, I'm not quite sure. But you should definitely get some Rocketeers to not necessarily fly around the entire base or map, but you definitely want some to take out enemy strong points located in garrison buildings.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Unit reporting. Got a clear view, up and over. Up and over. Clear out the plate. Ready to roll. Can do. On my way. Moving out.
Unit ready.
Fired up.
It's generally a really good idea to have some engineers lying around as well, if only so
Unit
that
ready.
when your garrison building does get damaged,
Unit ready.
you can bring it back up to speed really quickly.
Structure garrisoned.
Rockets in the sky.
It should also give you a good idea
Unit
as
ready.
to what, if you happen to play this game, either in multiplayer or not, what
Insufficient
buildings you
funds.
want to destroy yourself, because you can blow up buildings so that they are no longer on the map, period.
Got a steady flow.
And obviously
Unit
it's
ready.
rather strong if you can remove them
Unit ready.
from
Unit lost.
problem avenues of approach.
Ready to soar. I'll take the high road. Check out the
Unit ready.
reporting. Ready to
Unit
soar.
ready.
I'll take the high road.
I'm not sure if I'd categorize it as an annoyance, per se, but it does kind of bug me that certain buildings that appear to be unique don't have the same sort of naming conventions
Unit
as
ready.
we've seen in Tiberian Sun. It definitely feels like a step down in that respect, which is thankfully something I can't say very often about Red Alert 2.
Bridge repaired. Unit ready.
Need a repair? Got the plans right here. Ready to soar.
Unit lost.
Check out the view.
And yes, flak guns, or at least the stationary ones, do rely on power. So if you kill the power, your Rocketeers are
Tech building
fairly well protected. Although I guess we've seen that before in the previous 2 missions.
Unit promoted.
Now, capturing the tech airbase gives you paratroopers.
Got no place to hide.
I would like to have shown them off. However, at some point the Soviets
Tech building captured.
had like 1 unit sneak by and basically blow up the tech building before I could spot it.
I can go anywhere. I'll take the high road. Got to clear out the place. Vehicle ready. Check out the view. Ready to roll. Good to go. Good to go. Good to go. Weapon ready.
Now, if you wanted to avoid ever using water, then you would just have some Rocketeers come up, destroy these buildings, and then garrison them yourself. Those buildings on the waterfront can reach the Psychic Amplifier, so
Unit lost.
it's kind of a choose your own
Unit promoted.
adventure in how you want to progress with this mission. You just need a couple engineers and you can bring those buildings back up to speed.
Destination, Commander. Bound forward. Fire zone confirmed. Yes, sir. Weapons ready.
I was actually just kind of curious to see what else was left on this map, since I normally have never looked at the entirety of it.
Unit promoted.
And considering you're given a bunch of time for it, it doesn't really matter either way.
Standing by. Navigation system allied ship reporting.
And I just lost my tech building, so... Oh well.
Unit promoted.
I'm not sure if I've ever said it, but
Unit lost.
vehicles, at least in Riddler 2, I feel like it was a thing in Riddler 1. Vehicles, if they crush infantry, do get experience for it. So, in these sorts of circumstances, yeah, you don't really have to shy away from pasting them.
Unit lost.
Check out the royal playtime.
Strangely, the Soviets never actually went after the hospital after taking out the airbase, which is a little strange.
Rudder set for new heading. Navigation system ready to go.
Primary objective achieved. Incoming transmission.
Commander, they never saw us coming. That was splendid.
Hear me, you foul American phantom, wherever you are. You can work your armies like a puppeteer all you want, but this is my play. Here is the city that you have saved. Without the Psychic Amplifier, which you so rashly destroyed, I no longer have much use for it. Behold the power of Mother Russia!
Unit lost.